There they are.
Hey!
Hi. Hello, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday!
How has your day been so far?
Well, it's unseasonably beautiful in Seattle today. So, yeah, we are super excited to be able to be outside in like tank top weather.
Yeah, we never get to wear tank tops.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, in Seattle especially, it's like June gloom there all the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not this weekend.
Not
No.
this weekend.
It must be, it's the West Coast because it is so hot in LA right now. It's it's in the mid 80s. We were outside and I was like, my neck is going to be so burnt. I could feel the sun like beat down on me, but it's so nice because it's been pretty cool here also.
Has it? Yeah, it's been unseasonably nice the last 2 days here.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad. All right. So I guess we'll get started and people will come on as they are available. And then we'll obviously save it and all of that after for people who maybe missed it. So there's 3 of you. So I am hopefully not going to talk too much today just because I think it's more important for people to hear what you have to say than what I have to say. So I guess just to get started, introduce yourselves and just kind of take it away. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you feel comfortable about.
Sure.
Perfect.
Well,
well, maybe we should start off a little bit with what the Cancer Cartel is and what our mission is,
And
introduce ourselves because people might care who we are. So my name is Kerry Salmonson.
And I'm Shelly Tinney Miller.
I'm Katy Tinney.
And we're all 3 cancer survivors. Different kinds of cancer. I had breast cancer and skin cancer.
I had breast cancer, thyroid cancer, and skin cancer.
I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and skin cancer.
So one of the things that you learn when you have cancer is that your time on earth is precious. I'm sure you guessed by their last names that these 2 are sisters.
And by hair.
Yeah.
Well, you all
have the curly hair. Which, let's be real, mine's actually kind of curly too, but we did this today. But I just like to say from an outsider's perspective, I get to be their best friend, but more than that, they truly have just made me feel like one of them. There's 4 of them, actually 5, there's 5.
Oh, wow.
Sisters. And so I just basically have told their parents that now they have 6. So good on you.
You're like, whether you like it or not, you have a new addition to the family.
Yeah. And I mean, thankfully they like me. So
hey, you're not such a bad addition. Like I'll take you. I'm looking for sisters also.
Oh, well, hey, you know what? Welcome, Romy. We love you.
Yeah.
So, and we need that beautiful dark hair addition to our family.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in.
Done.
That's awesome. So, I mean, Katy and I became friends about 5 years ago. More than, the cancer story, but that, of course, is a good bond. We like a lot of the same things. We're both a little higher energy than most. And so we just kind of hit it off. And one day we were driving home and the idea for Cancer Cartel was born. And one of the things we were talking about is that cancer is freaking expensive. I'm sure anyone in your audience and you personally know that anytime there is a cancer battle in your family, it dramatically impacts your finances. And it's not just medical bills, it's everything. Mm-hmm. It's, Katy had to have an apartment.
Yeah, I had to get an apartment for 6 weeks so I could be
closer to the treatment center. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People do stem cell transplant. You have to be, within like
a mile.
Yeah.
Something like that within, I forget how far it was.
So so it's gas money, it's groceries, it's eating out more often because you're not at home. You're driving back and forth to hospitals that are sometimes an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours away. Mm-hmm. And we thought, what if we could take something we really love, fashion, high-end fashion and accessories and beautiful things, and kind of become the real in the nonprofit space. But instead of keeping the money for ourselves, these donated items would raise money and we would give it directly into the hands of people fighting cancer to help them pay their everyday living expenses. And that's kind of how Cancer Cartel was born.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I just think it's such, you know, there's been so many organizations that I've seen that have provided haircut services or makeup services or things like that for women who are going through cancer treatment and just don't feel like themselves. And
Yes.
they just have a day where they can, feel like a woman again, because so much of it is taken away from you, especially when you go through chemo and you lose your hair and you're just sort of trying to embrace like the one thing that you know about yourself, and it's
Yes.
just very difficult to do so. So I think the fact that you're also providing like beautiful clothing to people that can maybe just buy a piece that they really love, and even if it's just for that moment when they press purchase, can make them smile and feel like they're just a normal person and not going through all of the things that they're going through at that time.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, there's so many aspects to what we're doing. And, it's grown and evolved so much since we first started taking the donations of the luxury goods, because we learned that in order to give away the amount of money we want to give away, which is a lot, it's $11 million a year. We're going to have to pivot. So we've reached out, we've created some beautiful brand partnerships, with some wonderful people like you.
Yeah.
We're all wearing our necklaces today.
Love them. I love them so. They look so good.
They're so beautiful.
We love them.
Our board
so
president,
much.
Tony, got the 4th and she's
good.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are available on the Sincerely Jewelry website.
Yep. So you can.
They're amazing. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's incredible. But, we knew that we had to branch out and to expand. We added Beauty Funds the Fight to our umbrella. And so we've been partnering with some beauty brands as well.
We have a lot of things upcoming. Like it's gonna be pretty amazing. Like different beauty companies that are percentage of sales are going to come back to Cancer Cartel, or a particular month of sales. So look for that. We do have right now a lash serum, which lash spell, that they're donating a percentage of sales. We also have these beautiful bracelets.
Oh yeah, we're all
that our friend Sherry made at Got Balls, and the proceeds of these go back.
Oh my God.
Got Balls. Yeah.
That's a great name.
She's a cancer survivor, a thriver as well. So, I mean, we're so fortunate that we've been able to connect with so many amazing people through this, such as yourself. And then, I mean, all these incredible warriors that we are helping as well. We get to connect with them on Zoom meetings, and more than just the money that we're able to provide them, I think sometimes just talking to 3 people that have been through it.
Totally.
So a lot of people, they'll send us messages back saying, how much they feel, how good they feel just talking to 3 people that have been through. There's something on the other side.
There's hope.
There's hope.
We give a lot of hope, a lot of inspiration, a lot of laughter.
Well, that's the thing. It's like talking to 3 real people who have gone through it and, have turned such a horrible, hard experience into something so positive, and seeing that there is that light at the end of the tunnel. That's more than financial. That's exactly what people need, is that support.
Yeah,
for sure. And especially during COVID, because I know it's been even more difficult. Like when you're going to treatment by yourself, you can't have a loved one. I can't even imagine doing that on my own, because my husband was there with me every step of the way, and I can't imagine going in there by myself and having to do the chemo or any
surgery, having surgery, getting dropped off on the corner of the hospital. Okay, enjoy your mastectomy. I'll see you when you're done.
See you in a few days.
Yeah. No, it's.
And I mean, we feel so lucky to be able to do this and connect with all these people. I mean, the 3 of us have talked many times. As much as cancer sucked and it's awful, it's kind of like it got us to this point.
Yeah. I'm super grateful for it every single day.
Yeah.
I mean,
as weird as that sounds.
No, you hear that. You hear that from people, because it unfortunately forces you to just see things from a completely different perspective, and generally for the better. And you come out a stronger person, and your priorities just shift in a way that's always for the better, in my opinion.
No, you're so right. When I first got diagnosed with my team of doctors, my surgeon, she knew that I was visibly upset. I was in the room with my parents and my husband and all the doctors. And I started to really hit home what I was going to have to go through. And she grabbed my hand and said, Shelly, I promise you're going to come out stronger on the other side of this. And you're going to look back and just be amazed at yourself. And I thought about that all the time through treatment, and she was so right. I mean, I got to the end of it and I knew there was something more. At that time, I didn't know what it was until these two came up with this idea. But I always knew in the back of my mind that I wanted to do something. I worked in corporate finance for, 20 years. And I just knew that there was something bigger and better for me out there. And this is completely it. I get to talk to amazing people. I get to meet these incredible people that want to support us. And it's everything. Yeah. It's incredible.
So that being said, since you guys do talk to people all the time and sort of help them see that light, from your personal experience, like what are some of the things that helped you cope and get through your treatments and, those difficult times and, maybe receiving your diagnosis and having to process it? Like looking back, what were some of the tools that helped you?
For me, it was all mindset. I mean, positive affirmations. My husband was big into that. His mom had passed away from cancer about 2 years before I was diagnosed. So he was ready when I got diagnosed to really go hit this head on. So, I mean, I listened to positive affirmations all the time, meditations in my ears when I was getting treatment. I posted them around my office at work and my house. I had positive affirmations in my purse. I carried cards that said, just encouraging words on it all the time. And that helped me a lot. There were always times when I would, start to fall down, I start to spiral into that funk, especially right before chemo. I'd be like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. And he was always there to say, okay, you don't have a choice at this point. You have to do this. Mm-hmm. And we kind of made it kind of like a game for us personally going into chemo. I had an oncologist that was a very serious, didn't show a lot of emotion, just straight by the book. Like this is what you're going to do. And this is what you have to do this. And it was really hard for me, but we kind of made it a game, at the beginning, just to be like, okay, when we go in today, let's see if we can make her smile or laugh. And every week, my husband's very good at that. And so we just started pulling information from her, and we found out she loved theater. She loved going to London, and we knew her favorite actor. So we honestly just every week, it was our, that motivated us to get there and see if we could smile and make her laugh. And it put me in a different mindset. So I wasn't thinking about myself. I was actually, it was kind of a fun game we were playing, and lots of funny movies. I was always getting recommendations from this one.
Your family.
What?
How you got your family?
How you had to get through it?
Katy has a great story.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Yes, you do. I'll just talk for her because it makes me cry. So I will do the opposite. I will caution against what not to do because that's what I did. So I was very isolated on my own choice. It wasn't that I don't have a loving, supportive family. I just really kind of sunk within myself, and I didn't really share with friends or family how difficult my journey really was. I just put on a Superman cape and I was like, oh my God, I totally have this. It's no big deal. And that was a very bad idea. Now, 10 years later, I really am just really kind of going through the process of dealing with the emotions. I get super emotional, which is weird because I never did before I met these two. They're totally helping me come in contact with my emotional side. But talking about my journey so much, because that's what we do, has really helped me heal. But I wish I would have done it like they did. I wish I would have done what Katy did, and her family, they had parties.
Yeah, I mean, my whole
in the
family
chemo
was
room.
in there every week with me. Yeah,
They ate.
Shelly was there. Yeah, I ate. I mean,
her and I shopped. I'd go sit in there with her treatments. We'd shop on Nordstrom Rack or something.
Or shopping, always looking for deals.
And
I got through it by looking for deals every day.
For deals.
Trying to get a good deal on something.
And she was all about eating. So before chemo, it was she was giving us all the family her list of items that she wanted us to pick up,
diaper food.
And they all went and got it.
Yeah, a gluten-free pizza.
Of course. We did the same. My dad, he also had these bizarre cravings that he never years, and we were if that when somebody has cancer and they want food, you're
get it.
Whatever, because it's so important to eat to keep yourself healthy enough to deal with all the treatments. So we're whatever you want. He wanted grape soda. It was so
oh yeah, I was wanting straight just V8 tomato, weirdest, the weirdest
and potato chips or something.
Yeah, nobody says no to you when you want it.
But I think
and maybe that's what they did. They probably told me anything I want at some point. Like,
well,
if your dad, that idea.
I don't know. They just, for me, like you said, we tell these stories all the time, but it's so inspiring. And I hope that like anyone that's watching this in the future, like really takes that and lean on the people you have. Like you have people who want to help you. And like, that's such a regret that I have that, you know, I bottled all those emotions and, you know, thought that I could handle it on my own. And
people want to help.
They do. They want to
really
help.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. People want to help, and it's a difficult thing, especially when you're an independent, strong person, to ask for help just because it's part of your nature. But I do think it's almost like you have to take the help that people are offering because you don't want to offend them. And that's like a weird thing about the process, is that like you kind of feel like you have to take care of other people because they don't know how to handle what you're going through.
Oh, yes, that's so true.
It's more awkward for them than it is for you. So you feel like you're like, oh, don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Don't worry, this surgery, it's fine. Don't worry about me.
We often say though, it is harder for that support person than
sometimes
the person going through it. Because you kind of know you have to do this. Like it's just you have to go do this, and
you're not helpless.
Yeah, but the support people are always like trying to figure out what to do. What can I do?
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard for a person on the other side watching you go through it and feeling so helpless.
Yeah, it's hard. Listen, it's hard for everyone. It's not an easy process, and I'm sure, you know, I experienced it on the opposite side, and so there's definitely, you know, a grief and a journey that the person goes through even when the person survives the cancer, just because it's a part of your life that was really, I hate to say taken from you, but you focus all of your energy and your time. And I always joke, I'm like, by the time my dad was out of the hospital, like I had my medical degree, like our oncologists at this point, like the amount of information you retain, like it just goes to show that if you really genuinely care about something, you'll learn it like that. Because the amount of information that I retained and understood and knew about such a complex disease, I was like, well, this is just too much.
You're like, well, I'm freaking brilliant.
Yeah, who knew? Doogie Howser.
Right.
And I think what a lot of people don't realize too is at the beginning there are like a lot of decisions as the patient you're trying to make. I mean, there's different treatment plans. I mean, it's overwhelming. Like for me personally, I know Katy too, we were so young when we got diagnosed that when we had to do the chemo, we had to make a decision whether, you know, it affects your ovaries. So that pretty much ruins your any future plans of having children.
How old were you?
I was 36 and she was 35.
Oh, wow.
And I had enough of a savings for my husband and I that we decided to go the route of freezing our embryos. But I mean, so many people can't, and that's another cost of cancer that people don't realize.
That people don't think about.
It's huge. And so, I mean, that took a huge savings on our part to quickly freeze the embryos. We did one thing of IVF to freeze the embryos we had, like 2 weeks before I started treatment, right after I had my mastectomy. So it was a lot. And then to go through the process, and then I couldn't carry, so then it was a surrogate. Luckily, our other sister carried for us. We didn't have to pay.
Wait,
because that's
it's a great story.
Yeah, I have another sister that, she, because of the cancer I had, being estrogen positive, they didn't want me carrying our child. So our other sister volunteered to carry our child for us. Wow. And I mean, luckily, we were so lucky to have that, because that's another huge cost to go hire a surrogate.
Yeah. And you have to go out of state.
You have to go out of state. State of Washington, you can't hire a surrogate. You can't pay anybody.
Surrogacy is like, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's amazing, but it's just, I have a friend who recently had a baby via surrogate, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Our first round didn't even work, so then you're paying for that.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were so fortunate. The last embryo, she survived.
Scary.
And it wasn't even like when they unthawed her, it was like, oh, it's a fair embryo.
Yeah, she wasn't even like a good embryo.
Good embryo. So
it was like, meh, you never know.
Yeah. And she made it. She's 7 years old now, almost 8.
She is spunky.
As she should be.
Yes. Yeah, she knows all about how she came into the world, and
she loves to tell everybody.
To talk about it.
She's like, I am a real life miracle girl.
Yeah, legit. And she thinks that her cousins are her half brothers. She's she calls them her half brothers. We're like, they're your cousins, but
she's like, well, I spent more time with them at the beginning anyway, because in my sister's belly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's sweet.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a whole, and then like for Katy, she never was able to have children after.
Yeah,
her,
I wasn't even able to freeze. Mine was. I had stage 4 and I had to have a stem cell transplant.
Yeah, they were like, there's no time for any of this. Like, you need to start treatment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So mentally getting your head around that space is really tough too, going into all of it. It's, yeah. So, I mean, the positive thing is that we can relate to, we have had these conversations with some of our warriors that we go.
Yeah.
Just people that have been through it on both sides. And then Kerry was able to have a child, and so he got to see a lot of her going through it,
which is kind of amazing. And that's something that like I always talk to him about, and he talks to friends about, is that, you know, my mom's a badass. And you know, that's really something that I take pride in, is just, you know, showing him that you can freaking overcome anything. Like you can. And yes, of course there's cancer battles that are not winnable, and you know, that's a terrible tragedy in our world. But, you know, you put up the good fight, and you set that example for your family, and, you know, the outcome that's supposed to happen happens.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But I do think it's just so nice, like sitting here talking to the three of you, like once you hear the word cancer, it's this automatic just pit in the stomach. Like, this is it. This is not good. This is not going to end well. But like, you do forget that there are positive.
It ends well sometimes.
Yes. Sometimes they're good.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of times, but you know,
I think most of the time. That's what. Yeah, most of the time, it's not a death sentence.
Back a while ago, it wasn't, but now there's just so much more that people can do.
Mm-hmm.
We also. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I actually know somebody who she is probably late 30s, early 40s. She just was diagnosed with breast cancer, and also just such a positive mindset. And you know, she's sharing her journey on social media. And actually my roommate from college was diagnosed with breast cancer right before COVID. She's my age. So she's like 36. And she went through the whole, you know, treatment process, and she's doing very well. And they caught it enough and all of that. And it seems like, knock on wood, the other person that I know so far, the treatment has been working well. And so it's nice to hear. I unfortunately, my cousin had breast cancer and she did not survive. This was many years ago. She passed away 8 or 9 years ago now. So it's just, but it's, you know, so much has happened, and there's just so much more research now, and early detection, I'm sure, is, you know, something that you guys advocate for. Because
absolutely.
And we have had, I mean, unfortunately, because we've been doing this about a year and a half now, really going hard. So we've talked to a lot of people and helped a lot of people so far. And we've had a few people that we've granted money to that have passed, and their loved ones have reached out to us, and they just say that it was such a bright day when they got to talk to us, and the smile on their face when they got off the phone with us and stuff. So, I mean, it makes us feel so good that we actually are even able to help people at the end of their life to, like, some of their, you know, wishes and stuff. And so it's very sweet to get those messages that we really helped them in a moment where they really needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, it's like, you can't control every single outcome, but if you're there for somebody, that's something that can just brighten up. So, even if it's a second, a minute, a day in their life, something that you know, you can't, that's priceless.
We think so.
Yes. And we couldn't do what we're doing without all of our supporters. I mean, the money we raise, I mean, goes directly to these people fighting cancer. I mean, we're not taking anything for ourselves. 100% of the money goes out to the people.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So anybody who buys a Cartel necklace, the money raised by that is going to pay someone's car payment or utility payment, or something as simple as a blanket to take to them with chemo. You know, I mean, there's so many things that you know, the wishes that people need are all over the board.
And we have some really affordable things on our website too, like our tanks that we're wearing today. Those are available. We have hats. We have water bottles.
Yeah, it's not all, you know,
not
just
all luxury.
Louboutins.
Yeah.
We have, you know.
What have been some of the like stories you've heard from some of your warriors? Like what is there anything that's like stuck in your minds of what the money has gone to that's just been like an incredible?
I still think the birthday.
Yeah, Katy, tell that one. I mean,
it's just one of the Amazon gift cards. The lady had said she was able to buy her child a gift, that she wasn't going to be able to get him a birthday gift. That his birthday was the following week.
There was one
making those choices.
Just the fact.
Can you imagine
when you're fighting cancer? Sometimes you have to make those choices.
Yeah,
like you can't buy a gift for your son.
There was one woman right before Christmas. Her mom had cancer, and they knew that was going to be the last Christmas with her. So what they were using the money for was to transport her home, so that she could be at home with them through Christmas. So, I mean, people aren't asking for a lot either.
They really are.
No.
You'd be surprised. They don't.
No one asks for 10 grand.
No, they just come in and they really ask for what they need. Sometimes it's just like, I have to pay my water bill. Like, seriously, it's that. Like,
it's that simple.
Yeah.
That simple. And I just like, it's amazing to hear like, you know, about the birthday gift, like so selfless. Like she's decided I need to ask for this money so I can do something nice for my son. Like it's not even for me. It's just amazing. People going through something so difficult are still worrying about everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a mom
That's
way,
a mom
right?
way, yeah.
Like, and you know, I think that, you know, it's so hard to ask for help, especially financial help. Like that's you have to really kind of be humble and say, you know, I can't do this alone. I need you. I need it, whether it's $100 or $500. I just need this pressure relieved, because the stress of financial, I mean, it'll make you sick if you don't have cancer.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not fair.
So what is the process for people listening? You know, if they did need help, assistance, or knew someone that needed assistance, what's the way to go about requesting? And is there a limit to ask for? Like, do you need to provide proof of anything? Just how does it work?
It's actually really simple. You just go right to our website. You can either nominate yourself or you can nominate someone in your life that you know is in need. We ask them for some simple documentation. And there's a little spot in there to kind of ask for what the need is. Like we said, like really no one's asked for anything outrageous. So we evaluate about once a quarter as we have funds available. And then we get on Zoom calls and help some people as we can.
Yeah, we do a little interview with them on a Zoom call just for our due diligence. We have to make sure that we are.
Yeah. It's always
Good
nice to
diagnosis,
have
anyway.
and put a face to the name.
Yes. And, you know, I mean, we want to hear your story too.
Yeah.
You know, we want to hear what it is. You know, it's so much more impactful when we get you on the phone and, you know, tell us your story. And, you know, it's such an amazing blessing to us.
Yeah. And if they're willing to, we'll record the Zoom if they're okay with it. And then we ask them if we can share any information. So there's a lot of different stories out on our social media. We have a YouTube channel, and on our website we have some of the videos. And just recently we went back out and asked everyone that we have granted money to do a testimonial. So a lot of them have been sending in videos of themselves, just how they're doing.
Cry your eyes out, Romy, let me tell you.
So,
we don't put pressure on them, by the way.
No,
only
if you want to. We don't tell them that we're going to give any name. We're not tagging anybody.
No.
But those will be coming out soon. We'll try to post one once a week.
I just like lock myself in a room with a blanket.
You probably should.
They're very sweet. It's just,
And a lot of them, I mean, they're doing well.
That's the best part. Again, it's just like, people need to like see that there is a positive side to all of this. It's not all doom and gloom, which is
right.
You know, it's hard to not get out of that headspace when you're going through something like that.
Totally.
And that's where we come in. We we get them on. We're like trying to cheer them on.
We say stupid crap all the time.
We laugh. We end up laughing every time. They're always laugh.
Yeah.
I almost swore on your live, Romy. I'm sorry.
Are you kidding me? I swear on this all the time. I'm like,
because we say stupid shit often.
Yeah, I say all the time. And I'm like, are they going to cut me off? Like, are you even allowed to say that? But so far, so good. So far,
you know what? I think Instagram, it's not like we're on network TV. I think we're okay.
Exactly. Wait, tell everybody about the Drew Barrymore show.
Speaking of network TV.
Hey, it was like I planned that or something.
Yes, right? Like, the perfect segue. So how did it all go? How did it work out? Tell everybody.
You know, we're just honestly, Romy, we are so blessed by the people who believe in us. You know, we met this incredible woman, Jill Cardman, who put us in touch with her friend, who's a producer at the show. Drew loved the story. Our producer, Alex, is incredible. Yeah. I mean, we just are so blessed by the people who believed in us. And our little segment aired. And, you know, it's just.
Yeah, it happened so fast. Like, we were just.
It was a whirlwind.
Like, I'll tell you, like, we talked to a person Friday and then on Monday, and by the following Friday, we had a crew coming out to our house to film us. It was like a week.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see more of that.
And yeah, we filmed a lot. So, and I know in our little segment, Drew did say she's wants to do some more. So there should be more coming in the fall. Mm-hmm. So keep your fingers crossed.
Well, and you know, we really wanted to be able to share more with her audience and with that national audience about our mission. We kind of, you know, we didn't really get that in the edit. Like, the edit didn't have like what we're really trying to do. And so we're really excited to be able to share that piece of it in a more comprehensive way.
But we're sure there's going to be other opportunities too.
Are you kidding? Sure. You girls are just so amazing and so sweet. And like, I love you virtually. Like,
we love you in person, and we can't wait to hug you for real when we're all vaccinated and can travel.
Yeah, Romy, in about 2 weeks we'll be fully vaccinated. We'll be ready.
Yeah, we're coming to LA, sister.
Mm-hmm.
We actually, I don't really like go and tell anyone that we've been vaccinated because there's just so much, you know, people have their process. But my boyfriend and I were able to get the vaccine as well, and I feel super fortunate and lucky, and just like it's such like a
I know. I'm excited to get my second one. I got my first.
I was like, oh my goodness, I never knew I would be so excited
to get a shot.
Our shopping center to have a strange man who was wearing sweatpants, a sweatshirt, slippers, inject like a foreign substance into my.
Yep. And you have to sit there for 15
minutes. That was amazing.
That's so funny.
So that is, I mean, like, so with COVID and everything, like when we started this, we had big ideas of events and stuff.
We had big events planned.
Yeah, I bet.
So
things are like now we're starting to happen again. So I think, you know, within the next 6 months, especially by the end of this year, you girls should be definitely on your way.
Yep. And we'll be in your neck of the woods, sister.
Yeah, if anyone has ideas.
Oh, you're helping. You're involved.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, if anyone has ideas on events that they want to incorporate us into, we're open to that as well. I mean, we're looking at.
You're our sister now.
Yeah, you're a sister now.
No. You said it.
Love it. Love it.
Brunches, you know, anything like that. We're in for it.
Do like a charity fashion show.
That's the plan. So we actually had one that was being planned that got the plug pulled on it. But hey, you know what? We also believe that rejection is protection, and it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, and I really believe that. You know, if something doesn't happen, it's just
we were not ready.
We weren't ready.
We weren't ready for it. So funny.
Yeah,
back now.
Yeah, we're a totally different organization.
I mean,
now.
with COVID, we were able to step back and really like get ourselves ready for and really reach out and do stuff that we weren't ready to do.
No, we weren't ready. And you know what? Our first Instagram live, I mean, this is fun and fabulous, and we're not like falling all over ourselves.
We were pretty nervous.
But
we've had a lot of practice now.
They're all so different, and it's just so funny. Like, that's sort of why I like to just talk freely, because you really never know what's going to come up in conversation. And I think it's that way because then it feels just more real and raw, and you're talking about what grief unfortunately really feels like. It's not a straight line. So
and it's, you know, I mean, everyone's version of grief is different. And, you know, even if you survive your battle, there's a lot of things that you're grieving. And, you know, I think that you we just want to champion you as well for offering this platform to people to share about their stories, because you're doing something very, very important in the world. Because grief is it's an emotion that we're trained to be ashamed of. And we shouldn't be ashamed of it. We should embrace it and learn to work through it so that 10 years later, you're not doing what I'm doing, spending thousands of dollars on my mental health.
Well, no, it's true. It's, listen, grief is a hard thing to tell people how to handle. Everyone handles it so differently, but I am also in the mindset of, let yourself feel things, ask for help, talk to people, don't hold it in, because eventually it's going to get you, whether it's a week later or
10 years later.
So, just try and feel it and go through it. And it doesn't mean you have to necessarily talk to people about it, but just if you're crying alone in a room by yourself watching a sad movie, I used to go on hikes and listen to really sad music by myself, just force myself to cry it out. And if that's what you need to do, then that's what you do. Just feel it.
Yeah, you're so right. So we just want to thank you. We want to thank you for offering us this platform.
Yes.
Offering your other people this platform.
Making these incredible
we want to put it up close.
Yeah, it's very incredible.
This is so serious.
How thick that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's my skin is. I mean, get in there.
I'm not showing my skin up close.
Well,
I
see
love
our
that.
scars.
They came out so
Okay,
well.
we're coming in.
You're coming in. Oh,
can you see me?
Oh, there it is.
It's so great.
Afterwards,
Yeah,
Katy's got the gold.
Ooh.
Oh, you did yours better than me. It's hard to see.
Here's where
Here it is. Well, lovely lady, we are so grateful and so honored to be a part of this today. And we just love you and can't wait to get to know you better. And in
Me too. And I'm so excited to meet in real life and give real life
hugs. Yes.
I gave my really good friend who I hadn't seen in over a year a hug the other day. We met for coffee and I was, oh God.
Did you just cry?
Feeling, we were holding on to each other. Hug my friend. I always do the hug, kiss on the cheek. This was a full
hug.
Yeah, full body hug.
Yeah, it was a full body hug. It was so nice. But no, I can't wait to meet you. I think what you're doing is just so incredible. I will certainly, obviously I don't hope to know anybody who's going through cancer, because you never wish that upon anyone. But if anyone ever needs any advice or anything, I will certainly send them your way, because I know that you're the three best people to chat with, somebody who's, going through a hard time.
And anyone who wants to learn more about us or wants to help, they don't know someone that has cancer, but they want to join the mission, just go to cancercartel.com and check us out.
It's as easy as that.
It's easy as that.
And go to Sincerely Jewelry and buy a Cartel.
And buy a Cartel necklace.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
All right, girl. Happy
important.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, and I will talk to you all soon.
Okay. Love you.
Bye. Bye.